Hi YouTube, Brian here. So as promised, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about what you might need to be doing to get better annuals in your garden, better than you've been dealing with in the last few years from the garden center. And I found there's one big key, and that's starting a lot of them from seed yourself. Unfortunately, if you look at most of the big commercial seed catalogs for the commercial growers now, everything talks about how well it'll hold in the flats, how quick it'll flower to first flower for marketing, how short and compact it will stay so that you don't have to worry about it being too tall for shipping. None of them talk about how pretty the flower is, the quality of the flowers, how great they are at making a splash in the garden. It's all about getting them to market quickly and cheaply in as little space as possible. And I was finding a lot of things were very disappointing because of that. Things like, last year I tried to grow amaranth, and I purchased a nice little pot of seedlings, got them home, planted them out, put them in varying places in the garden, and they all grew. They all got maybe 18 inches tall at most. They flowered and they were okay. I really liked them, but they were a little lackluster. So this year I decided, well, how hard can they be from seed? And growing them from seed, I now have plants that are easily 3 feet tall, fantastic big chains of flowers on them. Here we've got amaranth, coral fountain, lovely coral colored, not quite the red if the classic Love Lies Bleeding. Emerald tassels, another lovely one with the green. They make great filler flowers in your arrangements. They add a lot of flow and height. And starting them from seed was nice and easy. Follow the instructions on the seed package. Get them going early in the spring. Other things that you just can't buy at the garden centers make fantastic garden plants. I'm always thrilled with the new chocolate lace flowers. We're used to sort of the white Queen Anne's lace, which is always pretty, but we get these chocolate colors coming through in the chocolate ones. These can go anywhere from lightly red suffused all the way to almost a deep dark brown purple. And growing them from seed, they get to be nice tall plants about waist height. You get lots of flowers on them through the season. They're great in the borders or for cut flowers in your cutting garden. One of my biggest disappointments over the years had been zinnias. Growing these from the plants that you get in the little 4-inch pots or in a 6-pack, they would always grow to a certain point and then stay nice and compact, put out some flowers, but never anything tall enough to even bother cutting. Doing them from seed, you end up with plants that as soon as the heat of summer hits, which unfortunately it hasn't quite hit this year yet, these plants will end up probably 3.5, 4 feet tall. Huge, beautiful flowers. These are just the first couple that are coming out. One of the series that I love to find seeds for, any of the Queen, these are Queen Lime Rose. Beautiful greens and pink colors coming through, some very double, some single. A great mixture. Fantastic colors. And they're not sprayed with any growth retardants. They're not kept compact and tight with any of the growth regulators that they use in the nursery trade, so you get beautiful big plants with lots and lots of flowers. Cosmos are another wonderful example. Lovely big daisy-like flowers. A seed-grown plant will probably get 3 times the height of a nursery-grown plant that's probably been sprayed with chemicals to keep it compact. So if you want a nice tight little plant, it's fine, buy the one in the 6-inch pot at the store. I can easily get these Cosmos to come up to 5 feet in the garden just by doing them from seed. It's way cheaper as well, and you can save seed year to year. One of my favorites, I do love the Sonata mix, which are big single pinks and whites. The double click mix is also wonderful. Beautiful single, double, semi-double, all of the above flowers in one mixture. And I do find that the more double they are, the better they hold in arrangements for you as well. Things like poppies. Poppies don't transplant well. In this case, I've got these lovely seed heads from the opium poppy, Papaver somniferum. These are great for cut flower arrangements, dried flower arrangements, And when they're just cracking open their buds earlier on in the year, you can cut them. Make sure you singe the ends of any poppies with a match or a flame just to stop any of the juices from coming out. They hold longer that way. And you can use those in arrangements. They really only last maybe 3 or 4 days, but if you can grow them yourself, you don't have to pay for them. They're a great cut flower. These ones are a variety, Lawrence Purple Grape. It's a lovely dark purple. These don't want to be transplanted ever, so I just take the seeds, scatter it about the garden, and see where they come up. You can also get an area in your cut flower garden that you just put poppy seeds and let them come up and do their own thing. You can't buy these at the store. Another thing that you really should grow from seed versus buying the little starter packs are sweet peas. This is sweet pea, Lathyrus odorata, April in Paris. It's one of the more fragrant varieties, beautiful big flowers, a lovely cream base with just a hint of a bluish pink on the edges. You're not going to get plants that are as robust from getting the little 6-packs. You're not going to get plants with as many flowers and that are as long-lived as if you do them from seed. So you can see here, these I've been harvesting for a while already. They've been blooming for probably 2 months. You've got beautiful tall stems, lovely big flowers, way better than you're going to get out of a 6-pack of seedlings from the nursery. Another thing that you're not likely to find at many of the garden centers are some of the new snapdragons. These are the Madame Butterfly Bronze. Beautiful colors. We've got big open flowers, so they don't have the little snap anymore, but they tend to be a little showier in arrangements. And also there are even some doubles available. Beautiful big full frilly blooms. Lovely colors on them. And growing them from seed, you're going to get much bigger plants. They're going to be far more vigorous. Snapdragons have the potential to be waist high quite easily, but unfortunately, a lot of the varieties that are bred for flowering early in the year, holding well in packs, not going over while they're in the nursery, don't get as big and they don't give as big of a show. So that's my definite biggest secret for doing really well with your cut flower garden, your annuals in pots, planters, and in bedding arrangements, is do as much as you can of these interesting plants from seed, and they'll be far, far better performers for you. I hope that was helpful. Thanks, YouTube.